Hey everyone, so welcome back to another video sitting on my living room floor. It's been a while since I've done sort of just like a chatty video. My hair is light again now, I'm starting to go lighter. But I basically just wanted to make a hopefully quick-ish video just talking about everything that is going on in the world at the moment. Apparently YouTube's like blocking videos that are saying the certain C word, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows what's going on in the world at the moment. So I just sort of wanted to talk about all things about recovery, dealing with recovery being in this pandemic and in isolation. These are, really crazy circumstances, and I know that it's affecting a lot of people's recovery for so many reasons, and there's so many things online about people saying different things and doing different things, and I just sort of wanted to make a video covering everything and my thoughts on it. First of all, I want to just touch on dealing with recovering from an eating disorder while being in isolation and how that can be really tough. So I know like a lot of people have like told me personally for my recovery that it's really good to, distract yourself, and like they sort of give you a list of different things that could help, doing this. And essentially in isolation, because pretty much it's like the world has been put on hold. I think it can be a really good chance to, because you have all the time in the world to focus on recovery. You can spend 100% focusing on recovery, make a meal plan, stick to it. You have all this time, you can focus, you can go all in, you can do it. But if you're not in as strong a headspace or you don't have as much motivation, it can make things a lot harder. If you struggle with binge eating and you are in isolation, you are essentially stuck at home with your food, and you need to be stronger than ever to sort of, resist those urges to binge. And I think just being stuck at home with all these temptations can make it really tough. So you've got to sort of battle dealing with, okay, well, I've got these triggers all around me. You can't escape it. You can't just leave the house for ages because you're essentially you're stuck there, and it can be really tough. On the other hand, if you're coming from like a restrictive past, as I said, it can be really good. It's a chance to get on a proper meal plan, so it's just stick with regular and consistent eating, because you don't really have the excuse, I wasn't home, I wasn't here, wasn't there. You've sort of, you're there, you're home, you have the time, you can eat however many times a day you need to. But that can also be really hard because in isolation, you're just stuck with yourself and your thoughts, and it can lead you to a really dark place because you sort of, especially too, like that's what I'm sort of concerned for me. I've made all this progress, but being stuck in isolation, and it's just so much more time to think and dwell on everything, and you don't have as many things to distract you where in normal life you could. Like, yes, there is still stuff at home you can do. You can go for a walk, you can call someone, you can watch a TV show, you can read a book, you can do a jigsaw puzzle. There's all these things that, yes, you can do to distract, but you do have a lot more time, and a lot of that time could potentially go into going in the downward slope to the eating disorder, because the eating disorder is going to come creeping in, being like, you're at home, you're not moving as much, like you don't need to eat as much, and that is not true. I always think of something that I've had so many medical professionals telling me, that if someone is in a coma, like lying there, not even like conscious, they get fed a minimum of 1,200 calories. So obviously, you're not in a coma if you're stuck at home. If you're watching this video, you're not in a coma, so you need to eat more than that. If you are doing anything, if you're just getting up from your bed to go to the kitchen, if you're thinking things, like if you're just using any energy, whether it be physical or mental energy in any way, you are burning. And as we all know, your body burns X amount of calories a day. Anyway, you need to eat. I have nothing else to say to that. Like, don't use it as an excuse. Don't be like, well, I haven't left the house today or whatever, and I don't need to eat as much. No, don't listen to that. Eat. And yeah, as I said, it can be really hard if you're stuck in isolation. You have so much more thoughts, like, you don't have as many distractions, like from just things in life, and it can be really tough. The next thing I want to talk about is one extreme or the other in terms of stuff I've seen online. I feel like you have on one side of like the spectrum, people are saying, oh, I'm going to go gain so much weight in quarantine, I'm going to get so fat in quarantine, isolation, same sort of, I know they're technically not the same thing, but I'm probably have in this video already said a mix of both. It's I'm in the same thing. But yeah, they're saying, oh, I'm going to gain so much weight, I'm going to gain so much weight, blah, blah, I've been at home eating. Then you have the other side of people being like, oh, I'm going to come out of like isolation, being so shredded, doing all these at home workouts. And really, you can be that, you can be that, but it doesn't have to be one or the other. You know, you don't have to do that, and you don't have to be working out and getting shredded or whatever while you're at home. Like, you can just do you, just chill, like, just eat food, just, you know, if you want to go for a walk, if you want to do a home workout, if you want to stretch, like if you don't want to, don't do it. So then this is segueing into, I guess, pressure or expectations to work out at home, because that's what you see. Like, so many people are like, they're jumping on this to make, like, to turn this profitable for them by selling like these home workout guides and these 8-week programs and all this stuff. And I know it can be so hard, because I personally just see so many people are just posting about doing their home workouts and stuff. But if that is something that's triggering for you, just unfollow them, mute them, like just don't, or like just think, well, okay, they're different. Like everybody is different, has different needs. And just because one person might be working out every day doesn't mean you have to. It doesn't mean you shouldn't feel pressured to. And that's what I think too, like a lot of people are putting pressure. Well, okay, well, you're at home, like you're not going to the gym, you're not going to work, like you're not, some people obviously still are, but like you're not doing this, like what else are you gonna do with your time? Like work out. But like, no, if you enjoy that, and if that is good for your mental health, that is totally fine. I don't have anything against it if it's coming from a healthy point of view. But if you know that just by even starting to exercise in any way is going to trigger eating disorder behaviors, or, you know, don't feel like, oh, well, I'm going to eat all this, I have to work out. Like, don't do it to compensate. Exercise because if it makes you feel good, and if it's not at all connected from food. I think that's the biggest thing. Exercise, food. Like apples and a pillow. You can't, like, don't compare. Like, they're like so different. Like, you eat what you eat and do all that. You exercise if you want to. It shouldn't be, okay, well, I ate extra, so now I have to exercise, or I didn't exercise, so now I can't eat as much. No, scratch that. Exercise if it is going to bring you mental clarity, if it is going to physically release endorphins that make you feel good, if it is not in any way driven by like compensating thoughts or actions or behaviors or whatever. That is not what you want to do. If you don't want to exercise, you don't have to. But that being said, like, and especially if you are in eating disorder recovery, and I know this is really, like, from my personal experience, I am still in recovery. I'm still trying to weight restore. For me, I don't really like to work up a sweat or do like full intense. Like, I like to go for walks. I like to do basic sort of stretches, or like really just like light, easy, polite. But mainly I like going for walks. I like getting fresh air, being in the sun. I find it just clears my head. It's a good way to zone out. I will listen to music. I will listen to a podcast, and it makes me feel really good. But so this is where I have to be careful, because I know okay, here's where it sort of does, I guess, connect with food. I just have to know days. If I go for a walk, if I'm walking for say half an hour, I know that, okay, well, I have to maybe eat extra today. Like, I have to obviously be aware, trying to weight restore, that, okay, yes, obviously exercise does burn off. Like, I'm going to burn off more calories walking for half an hour than sitting for half an hour. So I have to make sure that I'm still nourishing my body enough. That's where it obviously, you know, can get tricky, because that's what I've been told. Like, had people that are like, no, don't exercise, don't move at all. But it's like so good for my mental health, because that's another thing too. Being in isolation can really, really affect your mental health. And like, it's, you know, you can't help but feel alone. Like, literally isolation, you're on your own, and it can be really tough to work that out. I'm not coming here with all the answers. I'm just here to talk, because I'm struggling with it. Like, it's weird, but the whole world is like going through this, and we will get through this. But I think it's just important to remember, don't feel pressured to exercise or work out. And then don't feel bad if you gain weight in recovery. And that's what brings me, when I was talking about before, all the people saying they're going to gain so much weight during recovery. And like, I hate when people just need to stop saying that. Like, they're saying it like it's a bad thing. If you gain weight, it's not. I hope I gain weight in isolation. I've been trying so hard for so long to gain weight and my body's just not having it. So I'm really hoping that when we come out of all this that I would have gained weight. But yeah, people are saying that like it's a bad thing, and it's not. Like, it's the type of thing, if if you are eating more than you usually would, if you're not moving as much as you normally would, so what? You've got to do what's best for you to keep yourself healthy. If you gain weight, so what? Once things get back, like life gets back to normal, that weight might come off, it might not. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. People need to stop acting like it matters, because it doesn't. Another thing too, I think that is really important, this is more for if you're coming from like a restrictive path, you've got to make sure now more than ever that you are eating enough, that you are getting enough energy from food. You owe it to the world. Like, I know that sounds really dramatic, but literally you owe it to at least your community, everyone around you, to be as healthy as you possibly can. So we obviously all know there is a very contagious, infectious, deadly virus that is going around, but everyone, we need to make sure we're as healthy as we possibly can be. We need to build up our immunity. We need our bodies to be strong and healthy, and I don't just mean having all vegetables and spinach and these immunity shots. If you're coming from a path of restriction and you are trying to weight restore or whatever, like I am, now more than ever, you need your body to be as strong as it can be. Once you don't get any viruses, because if you get it, then you spread it, and like this pandemic is just going to go on and on and on. But you also need to make your body strong enough so that if any virus does enter your body, you need to be able to fight it off. That's what I have a very compromised immune system. I have a very weak immune system, so I am terrified of catching something. I'm already a germaphobe, so I'm already freaking out anyway, but now throw a pandemic into it with this virus going around. I'm really worried that I'm going to get sick, that I'm going to catch something. And that's what lots of people that are like around my age that aren't as like at risk or whatever, they're more sort of worried about, like if I bring it home and like if it's my parents or my grandparents or someone like that. But I'm like, I'm being selfish. I'm worried for me. I'm worried that if I catch something, I'm not going to be able to fight it off. So that's what's another thing that's pushing me through recoveries. I need to be as strong and healthy as I can be. And if that means just eating all the cookies every day, all the cake, that is fine. Like, I just need to like really build up my overall health. And that needs to come from not restricting. Another thing really quickly too is like, I feel like there's this expectations and I guess again and pressure to be productive and be like, we have all this spare time, like we're going to do this. You don't need to be productive. You can sit and do nothing all day if you want. You doing that is doing so much for the world than like going out and risking spreading or catching germs, viruses. So, don't give into that pressure expectation to be productive. It could be a good chance if you have things that you've been wanting to. It can be a great chance to distract yourself and get done. Like, I don't know, if you've got stuff, if you want to learn a new hobby, like write a book, do a massive jigsaw puzzle, like, I don't know, whatever your goals are, if you've had stuff you always want to do, it is a really great opportunity to be productive and get lots done. But that doesn't mean that you have to. That's why I know I keep being like, I've got all this time, like, I have no excuses to like not film like YouTube videos and make all this content. But at the same time, I'm not going to force productivity, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you can't force productivity. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. If you're not, you're not. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. I really like this video. I've been recording for so long. Hopefully I can edit it down a bit so it's not too long and boring. Hopefully it was, I don't know, helpful in some way. So make sure if you like it, give it a thumbs up. No, you're not alone. Your feelings are valid. It's totally okay to feel what you're feeling, and it's okay, and you've just got to really look after yourself. And I think deep down, everyone knows what they've got to do to like look after themselves. But anyway, subscribe, because there will be more videos coming. I can't guarantee when, I can't guarantee how often, but they're coming. Follow me on my Instagram too. I'm more active there. I will link that below. And I hope you are all well, and I will see you next time. Bye.